infusion of positive energy into the lives of single Latter-day Saints everywhere. This is Joy in the Journey Radio.
And welcome back, peeps, to another wonderful, splendiferous, joyous episode of Joy in the Journey Radio. I'm Lance, your host for Joy in the Journey Radio. Today, a very special episode for you today, episode number 331. And, yeah, there we go. Still working with the tech. You can see I found a different office after the debacle I had last week where I was just like, lights just turned off automatically. It's a power saving feature that was there in the space and annoying as all get out. But yeah, so I'm in a different space this week, peeps. And I just, noticing the screens that are behind me. I just thought, I gotta figure out how to get like access to those screens so I can put up like Join the Journey Radio logos or some really like, brand associated background. I think that would add to the video. At least they got the wall color right. So yeah, I'm working on it, peeps. I'm working on it. It's going a little slower than I would expect it to because I'm trying to juggle a lot of different balls. But today, in this episode of Join Journey Radio, we're going to go back to the kitchen. Yes, we're going in the kitchen. And we're going to look at another wonderful recipe that I developed. Because again, every so often, this is just part of like the 4-aspect life model that really helps Latter-day Saint singles thrive. And that is, we look at spirit, the heart, the mind, and the body. And today, we're going to look at the body. And the aspect of the body that we're looking at is nutrition. Now, looking ahead to this episode, I was trying to think about like the specific recipe that I wanted to share. And I settled on one that I've been kind of toying with creating. There's a lot of recipes out there for corn chowder. And I wanted to make my own recipe. And typically, when I go to do this, I'll go online, I'll collect several different recipes that look interesting. I'll compare them. And then in the process of that comparison, I select the ingredients, the amounts of the ingredients, and the preparation procedure. And so that's how this recipe developed. I took several different corn chowder recipes, and I was really kind of attentive to the chowder aspect. I get a little disappointed when I actually ended up making it. I'll explain as we go along. But I was looking for a recipe that would be vegetable-centric. Now, notice I said vegetable-centric. Now, I didn't say vegetarian. I said vegetable-centric. There's a difference, right? What I'm really looking for is a way to include more vegetables into the diet, specifically my diet, because I'm normal, and normal people, especially here in the United States, don't eat a lot of vegetables. And I think that needs to change. If we're going to like thrive, we need to have healthy bodies. And how do you have a healthy body if you're not eating enough vegetables? So finding ways to bring more vegetables into the diet, I think is a big plus. So I was looking for a vegetable-centric recipe. And I settled on corn chowder. And so I got a number of different recipes from online, comparing them. And I settled on a recipe that, let's just go ahead and bring it up. So here I got the list of ingredients. And when I make this again, I will make it again, because it actually came out with a fantastic flavor. But the one thing I really love about this recipe, in addition to being vegetable-centric, is that you make it in the slow cooker. And like most slow cooker recipes, you just throw everything in the pot and you let it cook. And then, you come back, you stir it up, and it's done. It's ready. The slow cooker is the single man or woman's best friend, and especially when it comes to being in the kitchen. So if you don't have a slow cooker, you need to get one. Now, this recipe fit very well inside my 2.5 quart slow cooker, which I don't even remember how many years ago I've had it. It's been so long. Like I said, the slow cooker can be your best friend in the kitchen because, for most recipes, it's just you just throw everything in and then you turn it on, you let it set for like half a day or all day, and then you come back, it's done, it's ready. And the smells that it puts out into your living space, oh, so wonderful. So here's my recipe for creamy corn chowder. Now, when I make this again, I'm going to make some changes, and for a couple of reasons. But let's just go over the ingredients first. 2 cans of cream corn, 1 cup of potatoes diced, half cup of carrots that are sliced, and I just took the potatoes. You could buy like a small or medium potato and chop it up. I happen to be an Idaho russet fan because I'm an Idahoan, but if you want to use a different kind of potato, have at it. The carrots I got from just from a can, so I drained the carrots and used half of a 15-ounce can, so that would be about, actually it would be closer to 1 cup carrots of what I put in, not a half cup, because 1 cup is like 8 ounces. Anywho, 1/2 cup celery diced, half cup of diced red bell pepper. The bell pepper gives it some flavor, and I chose red because I wanted to give it a little bit more color, make it a little bit more rainbow, because you got the yellow from the corn, white from the potato, orange from the celery, from the carrots, green from the celery. If you got orange celery, I wouldn't recommend eating that. So I thought the red bell pepper would really round out the color rainbow that we're putting here in our slow cooker. 3 tablespoons of minced onion. If you want to use fresh onion, just use one medium-sized onion chopped. 3 teaspoons of garlic powder. Again, if you want to use fresh garlic, just put in 3 cloves. I use the equivalent of the powdered forms for onion and garlic because I can set them on my spice shelf and they last a long time, several months. Whereas if I go fresh, then I have to use it up, which may or may not happen depending upon what's going on in the week. So that's why I like the powdered versions. But if you want to use fresh, go for it. 1 teaspoon thyme, 1 teaspoon smoked paprika, not the regular paprika, smoked paprika. There's a difference. The smoked paprika adds to the flavor. And in fact, this is one of the things I would change. If I made this again, I would actually put 2 or 3 teaspoons of smoked paprika in because it combined with everything else, it gave it a wonderful flavor. But I think having more of that smoke flavor come out would really enhance the overall flavor experience of the dish. So yeah, if I use this again, I'll put 2 or 3 teaspoons in, 1 bay leaf, 1/4 cup flour, 1 cup milk, and 2 cups chicken broth. And this is the other thing that I would change, because what I really intended to make was chowder. What this makes, if you make what you see here on the screen, what you're going to end up making is soup. Now let me explain the difference. Soup is runny like water, okay? Then that's on one end of the spectrum. And on the other end of the spectrum, you've got stew, which is really thick, almost solid. It runs a little bit, but it's almost solid. And then somewhere in the middle between those two extremes is chowder. That's how I see it. So that's what I was aiming for with this. This came out soup with what you see listed here. So when I make this again, I would do 2 things differently, in addition to using more smoked paprika. First of all, I would use 1 cup of chicken broth and not 2 cups. If you want to use vegetable broth, that's fine. I think chicken broth is more flavorful, and I wasn't looking to make a vegetarian dish. I was looking to make a vegetable-centric dish. So I was okay with the chicken broth. I would reduce that to 1 cup. And then I would leave out the flour and the milk until about a half hour before I wanted to serve it. I would mix the flour and the milk together separately and make, I think the word is make a remoulade. I forget, like there's some French word for it. It's like a thickener sauce, essentially is what it is. So you mix the flour and the milk together, and then you pour it into the pot for the slow cooker, and you stir it all up, and then let it sit for a half hour. So a half hour before you want to eat, you put this in, and I believe that will act as a thickener to make more chowder and less soup. And it really is the chowder that I was really actually going for. So, but anyway, here's your ingredients, and it's really easy to make. Again, you just dump everything in. So here I've got, in my 2.5 quart slow cooker, I've got everything put in. Don't put the bay leaf in yet. The bay leaf's the last thing you put in. So you want to put all the dry ingredients in, and then you're going to add in the wet ingredients and stir everything until you get a more or less even consistency. You'll find that the cream corn likes to drop to the bottom, so you have to kind of stir up a little bit. And then just place the bay leaf on top. And then I'll cover the slow cooker, cook it on low for 4 hours. And after 4 hours, here's what it looks like. So I'll take out the bay leaf and discard it, and then stir everything up to give it a more or less even consistency. And then it's ready to serve. And, I recommend serving with your favorite bread. I thought about making some cheddar biscuits. I think would go really well with the corn chowder. But I got a little lazy. Oh, that's the beautiful part about using the slow cooker, is that you can be a lazy chef and can make great things. It just tastes great. So I just, use some wheat bread that I buy. And this is actually special wheat bread. It's actually, it's made in the store, and they don't use a lot of preservatives that you find in most of the bread on the shelf in the aisles of your grocery store. So it actually don't taste a lot of the chemicals which are the preservatives that are there in the bread. It's actually better for you. So that's why, and it actually went really well with this corn chowder recipe. So, again, peeps, if you want to thrive, you got to learn, you got to take care of your body. And, one of the key steps to taking care of your body is nutrition. I believe, just my personal belief, I know others have had it, maybe you have it too, that, when it comes to taking care of the body, 80% is nutrition and 20% is exercise. So, this is really, something that we all need to pay attention to. And, good nutrition, like anything else good that we want to put in our lives, it doesn't just come. We have to be intentional with it, right? We have to go out, and that's why I'm devoting, some of these episodes of Join the Journey Radio to go to the kitchen and share, healthy recipes that actually taste fantastic. The wonderful thing about, the slow cooker is not only that you to set it and forget it, come back when it's done, is that, when you get done eating, then you can take what's left from the slow cooker and you can, put it up. I like to use ball canning jars to, store my leftovers in. So I just, scoop it out into ball canning jars, and then put them in the freezer. And then I'll actually take a little piece of masking tape and put it on the side of the jar, and then write on the side of the jar. When I'm stacking the jars inside my freezer, I can just see at a glance, just looking at what I wrote on the tape that's on the side, I can see what's in each of those jars. And it's great. Just take it out, another serving once in a while, and you can use it to vary up your diet. It makes, eating nutritious food a whole lot easier when you make it in batches. And that's the great thing about the slow cooker, is that it's easy to make a batch. So yeah. Anywho, that's all I got for Joy in the Journey Radio this week. Still looking for a co-host. So, if you're interested in coming onto the program and having discussions about, all the different issues that affect the lives of single Latter-day Saints, feel free to hit me up. Go to jointhejourneyradio.com/contact and fill out the contact form, and we'll see what we can do about getting you on. If you have questions about things that are perplexing, I like to put, because I got plenty of time left in the program, right? So I would love to have like a Q&A session where, you bring your questions you have about some issue that affects single Latter-day Saints, and, we can have a discussion about whatever question it is you bring up. And I think that would be a fantastic addition to the program. So, bring your questions, and if you want to, join the broadcast, always, I've now got the 2-week schedule up. 2-month schedule, so you can see what programs I have planned for the next couple of months, and so check back every so often to the program, to the website, and you'll see what programs are coming up. So if you want to join a particular program as a special co-host, maybe you just want to try it out for a little bit to see if this is something that would fit you. Hey, like I said, go to the contact page on the website, fill out a contact form, and we'll get this up. If you want to discuss anything related to the program, then below, make comments, and we can get some discussion going. If you're Latter-day Saint living outside of the United States, I'm especially interested in having you on the program, talk about what it means to thrive as a Latter-day Saint single in other countries. Because I think a lot of us, we get kind of insular inside of our little bubbles that don't extend beyond the borders of our own country. And I think there's a lot we can learn from each other by having conversations with one another across international borders. So if that speaks to you, then hey, then yeah, come join us here on the program. So again, that's all that I have for you this week. Hopefully I was able to offer you something helpful. If not, then come back next week and we'll see if we have better luck then. So until next time, this is your host reminding you there is joy to be had all along your journey. So take that joy and journey on.